I, Dr. Praveen Kumar from Department of Economics and NIILM University's Cathals, I take the privilege of the welcoming convener Dr. Pradeep Kumar, Dean and Professors of Economics, for his active initiatives in organizing this workshop. I welcomes all of the faculty members, research scholars, and students of this online workshops on research writings. Hope we all having a great learning in these 3 days. Now I invite Professor and Dean, Dr. Pradeep Kumar from Department of Economics. Successfully demands many lectures and guidings research scholars and faculty members on the research papers writings. With almost respect, I would like to introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S.S Teotia, our Chief Patron, for providing us such kinds of the opportunity to organize this workshop. I take the privilege of the welcome convener, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, Dean and Professors of Economics, for these active initiatives and organizing these kinds of the workshop. Now I invite Professor Pradeep Kumar.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Hello.
Are audible.
Okay. Welcome, sir. On behalf of all the staff members, I, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, Department of Economics, Dean and Professor of Economics, welcome the Chief Guest of the day, Professor Dr. S.S Teotia, who is the Vice Chancellor of NIILM University and has been a constant source of inspiration to organize such type of program. And equally welcome our resource person, Professor Rahul B. Chauhan from Parul University, Baroda, who has been imparted training in various workshops organized by IITs, NITs, and other universities and colleges. I also welcome various delegates, researchers, and above all, my dear students in 3 days online national workshop on research paper writing. The main objective of this workshop is to provide practical knowledge to the delegates, especially to the researchers. In this regard, the resource person will share his valuable ideas. I hope proper guidance in this workshop will improve your research paper writing skills on the one hand and update your knowledge on the other. In the last but not the least, I wish to say that this workshop will prove helpful to inbuild confidence for quality research papers in journal and researchers in particular. Thank you. Over to Professor Praveen.
Thank you so much. Now I hand over these platforms for our honorables, Professor Rahul Chauhan.
Yeah, very good evening to all of you. And thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chancellor of NIILM University, then Dr. Pradeep Kumar and Praveen Kumar, all of you, for inviting me. And let me share the screen. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much once again to all of you, and very good evening to all of you. Today we will talk on the topic selection of the research paper and abstract writing, as well as the synopsis overview. Right. Before going in depth in this, I would like to start with the research and how it is important and what kind of things which we need to check before writing the research paper, as well as synopsis and abstract, everything. Right. So this 3 days workshop is like that. Today I will introduce you about the writing skill, as well as the topic selection and basic about research paper. Tomorrow we will check how we can do the citation, how we can do the literature survey, and how we can add literature in the research paper. And in the last day we will I will do the journal selection, as well as the SPS, some basic information about the SPSS, as well as some of the research publication ethics as well as the journal selection that we will do in the third day. So today we will start with the research topic selection. So this is generally the flow of this presentation: abstract writing, structure of abstract, effective abstract, and important points, meaning of synopsis, flow of synopsis, how to prepare effective synopsis, as well as the question answer. Now we will start with the abstract writing, but before that, I will inform you about the journal selection. Sorry, the research paper and the title selection. Many a time I have seen that in general, if we are talking about the in general as well as the current scenario, I have seen that many a time we are searching the topic, right? We are writing the research paper, or we are writing the topic or research topic or the PhD topic or any topic, but in that case later on we see that the topic is not that much effective, and it will comes once we have already done with the help of with the literature survey and with the any other things, and then we come to know that this topic is not effective and let me change the topic. The variable is not suitable to the topic and let me change the variables, right? The statement is not suitable and let me change the variable and let me change the title and everything. So it is the first step to select the topic, right? Topic, it doesn't mean you how to frame the sentence. It doesn't mean you how to frame the title of your research paper or thesis. We have to have first of all just an idea that on this topic I have to conduct the research, so that will comes under the topic or research study selection. For example, right now I am doing one of the research paper on due to this online shopping and due to this fintech, the bargaining power of youngster is too much less, or there is no any bargaining power, right? So that is just a fundamental idea that we can, so we can do research on that topic, that due to this online shopping, what is the bargaining power of the youngster and why they are not asking price of the product and they are just paying the amount, right? So that is just an idea, that is just a thing, that is just a problem, and on that problem first I have to go through the literature. It can be possible in my mind there are some another variable, like due to this online shopping is this is the problem, due to this fintech this is the problem, the behavior is one of the factor, or friend is one of the factor. But in literature survey I might be there is something different which I have never think about that, right? Due to the time is one of the factor, it can be one of the factor, right? So before writing any sort of research or any sort of idea, we have to do lots of survey about the research, we have to do lots of review of literature, and that will give us the clear cut idea that yes, these are the actual problem and these are the actual variable, or these are the actual factor which is highly affecting to the research, or this is highly affecting to this problem statement. Suppose in the company the sales is down, so there are n number of factors that why sales is down. It can be possible because of lack of attention of the customer, the salesman, because of the quality, because of the price. There are so many variables. But if I am saying that this is only the problem, then there is no any solution. So for that, first we need to select the problem, and then we have to search for the review of literature, and then we can go with the this topic or with the research, right? Now let me start with this abstract writing. So at the abstract, generally we have to write at the end of research. It is not like that. By many a time I have seen that we are just writing abstract first and then we will start the research, right? It can be also possible, but in that case we have to have enough source of information. It can be possible that we have done about 2023 research paper, and from that we can say that this is the survey and this is the problem that is found, or this is the probabilistic output. So also we have to check that what kind of output we will generate from this research, and that we need to write down in the abstract as a finding, right? Then own knowledge and self-writing. The abstract always we need to write as a own knowledge and in the self-language, because abstract is your first impression. As an editor of so many journals, first we will have an abstract from the journal, and then we have to select the paper, whether this paper is accepted for publication or rejected for publication. So abstract is your first the impression on the reader's mind and on the editorial board members' mind. So first we need to work on the abstract. then covered all the information and without any chart or diagram. Generally, abstract we not need to add any diagram or chart, right? And we have to cover all the information and in the sector wise, right? How to write in sector wise? I will give you some of the practical. I will show you some of the practical research paper, so we may come to know that how to write abstract in the sector wise, right? So generally, here one point is more important, that is the own knowledge and self writing. Because in case of the research paper, we may have some of the literature review, we may have some of the practical data and anything. But in abstract, we have to write down all the things in 2 or 3 lines. Okay, so it is more important to have this information from this literature review as well as from the paper. Yeah, this is the main structure of abstract, right? In the abstract, we have to add the introduction, like what is the about the research, what is the objective, which method, what is finding, conclusion, and keyword. So in the case of abstract, we have to just summarize the point in 2 or 3 lines. We have to summarize the point of whole research paper in the 2 or 3 lines, that this research paper is talk about this problem and this research paper is talk about this things, right? So we have to write all the information in the abstract introduction part, and we have to add the objective of this study with a very clear cut sentence, that after aim of this research paper is this, or main aim of the research paper is this. That means at the end of this research paper, the readers might be come to know that this is the problem and this can be the solution. Method is also, we need to write that what kind of method that we have used and what kind of the structure that we have used. Like in the case of method, there are so many research methodology method. What sort of sampling we have used and what is the duration of sampling, and everything we have to use in the case of method. And then finding, that what is the actual finding of the research. And nowadays there is one more point which generally the researcher are adding, that is the practical implementation of the study. That what kind of the if after this research is helpful to whom, whether it is helpful to the industry, whether it is helpful for the employees, companies, corporate, to whom, right? So we have to add that point as well, that this at the end of this research paper, it is helpful to the whom. That is also important question for the research paper and for the readers. And then we have to write the conclusion and keyword. Yeah, very most important part is the keyword. I will come on this point, but before, let me end this structure. In the case of abstract, again, there is an important point, that is to check whether your abstract, your introduction, your title and your hypothesis and your objective is same or not, right? Because once you are writing your abstract, your sentence pattern, your the word, your keywords, everything is depending on the research paper. And if you have to also check if any information which is very important for the research paper, that you need to add in the abstract, right? Because in the double blind review or blind review paper, first they will analyze your abstract and then they will ask for a research paper. This is, I am talking about the Scopus as well as the ABDC as well as the Web of Science research paper. That they will ask you first abstract to submit, but in that submission of abstract, you have to submit like 2 pages abstract is also there, right? You have to submit the 2-page abstract, that each things you have to write down in a 1 4 to 5 line paragraph, and then you have to submit the research paper. But in that research paper, you have to write again short abstract, right? There is one question: what is difference between thesis writing and journal article writing? Very good question. In the case of thesis writing, we have to have a thesis like 200 or 300 pages. It is in-depth study of research, right? In thesis, we need to have at least 200 to 250 the reference. We have to add all the necessary information. For example, if you have taken 2 cities, you have to write why you have selected this 2 cities, and you have to again give the reference. If you have selected 5 variables, you have to again write that why you have selected this 5 variable and from where. So it is in-depth study of research paper, whereas research article is just a study where we are not writing each and everything in detail, but we have to write each and everything in a singular or liner detail, right? In one line, I can add a 3 reference, and that can be prove the sentence, or that can be prove the research methodology as well. So generally research paper we have like in many conference and many this journal I have also seen that they are going to give you a word limit as well, like 7,000 word limit or like 15 pages or 7 pages or 10 pages. But in thesis writing we can write down more than 200 pages, or I have seen the thesis of 800 pages as well, right? The Gujarat Technical University, you can also find the GTU PhD, and there is a one thesis with the 800 pages as well, right? So in the thesis there is no any age limit, page limit, and there is no any limit. But in the case of research paper, you have certain limits. Am I clear? I hope I am clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in the case of keywords, see, keyword, the name itself is a keyword, right? If it is generally word, then we can write any of the word. But it is keyword, that means it will define you what kind of keywords you have, and due to this keyword, your citation is increased, and due to this keyword, your the reference is your paper downloading is also increased, right? That how much people has downloaded your paper from this journal, from this website, you can also check that, right? Because keyword is important. Let's say if I want to do the I want to write the paper on bargaining behavior of the youngster, then first I will write the bargaining behavior, because if I want to download bargaining behavior research paper, then this is the important factor for the researcher. So you have to think according to you whenever you are writing the keyword, that if I am doing this kind of study, then how I'm searching the research paper on the internet, on the various website. So the same can be your keyword as well, that so that when other person will do the research, they will search the same keyword, and your paper will come in that line, that yes, they can download your research paper as well, right? So keyword and writing keyword is more important in research paper, because your research paper searched by only and only keyword, maximum people out of 100. There are 80% who will search your research paper by keyword. There are 10% people who will search your paper by the title or some basic title or half title, and there are 10% who will search your research paper by the journal. So keyword is more important in any sort of research paper, and that will give you the increment of the citation as well, right? So this is what the main structure of research paper. Now this is something which is more important, how to write this effective research paper and what kind of the point you have to consider. The function of an abstract is to describe, not to evaluate or define the research paper or thesis. So the abstract is not going to evaluate or defend anything, right? For example, if we want to read some of the novels or some of the book, then I will just go through the point that at the end of this paper, as this book or this novel, what I will come to know. So the abstract is just a basic information that what at the end of this research paper, what you will come to know and what kind of the things they have find out, right? And majority, if generally or in the researcher also, if I want to download research paper for my citation, for my literature review, always I will look first the abstract, that whether whatever information I want is there in abstract or not. If it is not in the abstract, then I am not going to download my research paper, or for research paper for my citation as well, right? So abstract and this abstract will give you just basic information, but that basic information you have to write in a meaningful way. For example, the advertisement. We have seen that advertisement is just of the 20-second or 30-second, but in that 20 or 30-second, they will describe each and everything in a very well organized manner. So in abstract, we have to define each and everything in a half page, but in a well organized manner, so that the reader may attract toward your research paper and they will start reading your research paper. I have seen so many ways, like in Pablon, I have seen that there are one author who is writing research paper since last 10 years on same topic. In year 2021 also they started the research writing on the same topic, and in year 2022 again they are writing the research paper on the same topic, because every year there are certain changes in the scenario, every year there are certain changes in the price, every year there are certain changes in the market size, the preference as well. For example, before a 15 years, let's say in year 2001 to 2005, there is a phone without keypad. It was a highly sales, right? In year 2001 to 5, the sales of the phone which is without keypad, sorry, without the touch screen was high in the market. But right now we are not using that keypad phone. Why? Because of the changes of taste and preference. So we can write the research paper on this scenario based in every year as well, or in after as well, right? So it can be the abstract should begin with the brief about prescribed statement of the problem or issue, followed by the description of the research method and design, the major finding and the conclusion. So it is just a basic things that we have to start research paper with the basic problem. See, whenever you have seen many of the cases or in many of the video, they are also starting with the end, that this is the end of this picture. So we have some eagerness that why this is the end of this movie or this picture or this advertisement, and then they will start the yeah, I will also go on this review paper. Yeah, sure. Then they will start with the some of the fact that due to this factor point 1 2 3 4 5, then they will come to the end, right? In many of the point, like in the politics or in any of these movies, we have seen that first they will start with the end and then they will come to the point wise. So in research paper also we can also start with the problem statement, as this is the very effective problem, so that readers will start that yes, this is a very genuine problem for the company or for the public or for the society, and then they will start reading that how to overcome this problem and how to solve this problem by this study, that then they can go through it, right? And then we can go with the research method, design, finding, and everything, because generally no people is none there is except the researcher, none of they read this design and method, because they don't know even, right? Even if I'm talking about the company just look at the problem and solution. They will not check the what kind of design you have taken, what kind of method you have selected, what kind of objective you have objective they might be checked, but what kind of the data you have taken, they will just go through the abstract and they will just go to this conclusion part. Then the abstract should contain the most important keyword referring to method and content. This facilitates access to the abstract by computer search and enables readers to divide whether to read or enter dissertation. So again, this will help you that, as I told you, that abstract is important. There is a two question. Tell about the review paper or search data for abstract. The how to search data for abstract, I will show you with the help of some of the website at the end, right? Or might be tomorrow. And review paper is one kind of the processal paper, right? Review paper, for example, let me show you one of the website. Just a minute. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So this is the website of Pablon, right? And for example, if you are talking about the review paper, na, so in this review paper, you can see here there is one browse and researcher. So if I'm just writing here one of the keyword, right? For example, field behavioral finance. and based on publication. So now you can see that there are total 300. I hope this is visible, huh?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So there are total 382 results which I found on, and they have written their research paper on the behavioral finance last 12 months, right? So from there, what I can do, I can download this 37 research paper. I can download this 24. I can download this 22 and top 10. So top 10 is somewhere here. So and they have done 6 research paper. So total of this somewhere like 100, right? Let's say it is 100 or 110. So I can download this 110 paper, and from there research paper I can write a review paper that you have gone through the same title, same problem, and you have done some of the review on this research, and at the end what they have concluded, right? You can also show some of the charts, some of the graphs, and you can see that there are majority there from Taiwan and that kind of thing. So you can also write that yes, the in which company or this is from the Jaipuria, India, right? So in which country you have selected, in which country research is more, and like that. Here I can browse for the country as well, publication, journal and institution, everything, right? So this way we can go with the review paper, that with the help of this kind of practice we can write down the review paper that yes, out of this 10 author, some of the author has done good work in that, and some and what they have concluded and what they are trying to say, and in which year, and what is the current scenario, what is the current practice, so that we can write down as per the review paper. There is a one more comment question I have about we choose the variables for model from the review paper. For variable, you can choose it from anywhere. It can be from the review paper. It can be for the research paper. It can be for the analytical paper. It can be from the imperial paper. Or it can be from the hypothesis as well, right? And you can choose, but the thing is that you have to write, you have to quote proper citation in your research paper, that this variable you have chosen from which research paper, and this variable you have chosen for which research paper, and that can be your research gap as well. In earlier, for example, I'm pursuing my PhD on the behavioral finance. So in behavioral finance there are 150 biases, right? And I have taken only 7 biases. So I have given that why I have taken this 7 biases, because of there is no so much work done on this biases. That's why I have selected these 7 biases, right?
Sir,
So it can be possible that can be your variable. Yes.
sir, can I speak if you don't mind in a
Yeah, sure.
mid of this session?
Sure.
Sir, I have a same doubt like a ma'am is asking. The what kind of variable we can select? I mean, can you give us some example like in your topic or in any topic like employees productivity or motivational, like on the topic you can select a variable. Just give an example how we can select, because I'm a newcomer over here, so I have no idea about this, but I know how to do, but I need your help because you are the expert of today's lecture.
Sure. See, first I will give you my example, and then I will give you your example in your motivation, right?
Yep.
In my example, I have in behavioral finance, I have selected the overconfidence, then emotions, then the divided mind, group behavior. These are the
So
biases or
it
variable
depends
for me.
upon the model. So it depends
Yes?
upon the model, then it depends upon the model.
No. I have created my own model for checking, right?
Okay.
And in your motivate, there are so many theories of motivational theories and motivational traits are available,
Yes,
personality
sir.
traits and everything, right? And
Yes,
in
sir.
your model, you can select one of that is the motivation from the peers. Then there is a motivational is one of the factor is the earning, right? So the salary is one of the factor. Then environment of the company is one of the factor. So there are, you can divide into 2 part. One is the internal and one is the external. What are the various internal part and what are the various external, then you can divide, or you can do some research on that as well, that what factor matters lots. Whether your internal might be the income of the family, might be the parents review on, might be the others review on the company. Many a time I have seen that we are doing work in some of the company, but if I ask my friend, now they will say that where is this company? I have never seen. Right, so it can be also one of the factors. So you can do on that as well, right? Am I clear?
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you,
okay.
sir.
So this is what basics about this abstract. Now this is the one of the example of abstract, right? This example earlier there was a question search data on abstract. Yeah, you can this can be also the solution of your question as well, like how to search data for abstract. Okay. In this you can see that the in initial phase they have written background, then purpose, method, result, and conclusion. This is the earlier abstract. In before year 2019, 20 or 21, we used to write this type of abstract in a one paragraph. But right now in each journal, they need to have a abstract in a section wise, right? Let me show you some of the research paper of the abstract with the section wise. Just give me a 1 minute. Okay, so I hope this is again visible to you. Okay, so these are the abstract which earlier when we are using, right? And in some of the journal again, right now also they are using that abstract in the paragraph, one simple paragraph. But you can see that then everything is mentioned over here. That what is the problem, right? What is the number of n, that is research methodology, then what is the aim of this paper, then what is the probable solution of this paper. You can see that this present study reframes that negative and positive influence on the parental monitoring, herding behavior perspective on the problem gambling among the youth, right? So this what I just inform you, that in one abstract we can write down everything in a detail, right? So that will give you the positive impact. So see this all the abstract. Again here there is a one paragraph only, right? And you can also see that there is a some abstract the citation as well in the abstract. Again these things everywhere you can also find what is the number of n and number of sample size and what are the survey and everything, right? Everywhere. So this is what the abstract which we were using earlier and right now in some of the journal. Now let me show you some of the abstract with the was near the part wise. Yeah. So in this paper, you can see that the abstract is per the part wise, right? Like the purpose is a different writing and the design method and approach, then finding value and keywords, right? So right now in many Emerald as well as in many of the Scopus and Web of Science journal want this type of abstract, right? In somewhere you can also show in the paper in Scopus, but in ABDC, Emerald and Web of Science need this partition of abstract only. And initially, whenever you have written the paper, in that time you have to write the same abstract in our 2 pages. But whenever you are going to send full paper, at that time you have to write this abstract in a half page, right? So this is one example. This is another one. You can see that the same. Even word is also same. The purpose, design, method and approach, the finding, practical implementation, originality and value and keyword. And type of paper like research paper or what. Again, in this, you can see that the purpose, design, method, approach, finding, value, and originality and keyword and types of the paper. Again, in the same purpose, design, method, approach, finding, value, and the keyword and type of paper. In this as well, purpose, design, finding, research, limitation, implementation, implications, practical implications, then value and originality, keyword, and type of paper, right? So right now what I'm trying to say that in many of this journal want this type of bifurcation of the value and data. And if you are doing this kind of thing, then they will accept your, the chances of acceptance are more if you are writing your paper in this division, right? And that will give clear cut hint that what, and this will help you to the cite in your research paper and thesis as well. For example, if I'm doing thesis on some ABC topic, and for example research in some ABC topic, right? And in then if I know this area, this criteria, then I will just directly first go through the purpose. That means what is the objective of this research paper. If it is suitable to me, then I will go further. If it is not suitable for me, then I will skip this paper and I will go for the next paper, right? So this can be also possible, and this is the way which we can have for the downloading of research paper, for the review of literature, and for the citation and everything, right? Now let me go through again the presentation. So this is what the structure of this abstract. Now these are the some of the website or link from where you can download some of the templates of research paper and some of the right, how to write the citation and how to write the sentence, because in abstract sentence is more important, right? So you can also go through this, that what are the various sentences important. One of the question that I selected topic for my MPhil thesis, implication of corruption in SAARC country economic capital inflow perspective. Okay, from many research paper and article guidelines for the selection of this model. So it's compulsory me to write the all reference through which I have selected the variables or model. Yeah, actually whenever you will go for the defendant or for the final viva of PhD, at that time they will ask you that from where you have selected this data, right? For example, if in questionnaire generally we have selected any one statement or any one variable, so they will ask us directly that from where we have selected this data. So for say foresight, I request you, and it is necessary as well, to write down all the reference in necessary panel or in necessary box as well, that from this model is from this and part of model is from this, and that will help you for the final viva and defend. Because in research generally we are saying in the world of research that nothing is from my side, everything is from other side. I just have taken the data from the literature review and I have used my pattern for the review or for the research. So it is more important if you are writing each and every reference. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, just a few inputs for the synopsis as well, because many a time there is a doubt or there is a questions between research paper as well as the synopsis, right? I have gone through this problem as well, that many of the time the people are writing research paper in case of synopsis. Whenever final thesis they have done, and then the university will ask you to submit the synopsis. Then you generally the researcher are writing research paper, but there is a difference between the research paper as well as synopsis, right? Generally, the synopsis is a short summary of your thesis, and it's entirely from beginning to end, right? In the thesis, whatever you have written, you have to write down each and everything in the synopsis. Generally, again, thesis is of the 10 to 12, maximum 12 to 15 page, right? In our university also, there is a guideline that I have to submit my synopsis in a 15 page only. So we have to sum up our thesis in a 15 pages, and that can be the synopsis. For a thesis, generally first synopsis is verified, and synopsis is we have to send to the university. Once synopsis is accepted, and then we have to submit the thesis. So thesis is a we can say that thesis is a abstract of synopsis is a abstract of your thesis. That what is the method, what is the input, what is the review of literature, what is the finding, and what is the various statistical tests you have used, that we have to write down in the synopsis. Written by fairly natural, that we have to write. Once we have done the thesis, then in our own language we have to write the synopsis, right? Follow the same board structure as per the thesis, like introduction to conclusion with analysis and literature survey. So we have to write each and every point. Like we can have the whatever chart, whatever diagram we have. Generally, some model of this thesis we can write down in the synopsis, and generally we can prove that model. No need to write between all the stuff and all the analysis in the synopsis, but this is our research proposed model, and this is our proposed solution that we can write in the synopsis that can be accepted. Probably about 5 to 8,000 words in the length, and depending on the theme of thesis on topic. Generally, as I told you, we need to have 12 to 15 page or maximum 18 page of synopsis. This is the same the structure what we followed in the research paper, like introduction, the literature review, then the research method, methodology, analysis, finding, and reference. We need to check the reference as well. For example, in thesis, I have a 200 reference, and out of thesis in the synopsis, I have used only 18 reference. So I have to write only that 18 reference, not more than that, right? So it should be like if someone is doing cross reference or cross checking, then they will come to know that yes, this 18 reference and this 18 is the citation. Effective thesis, how to write this effective thesis? So generally, plus point we need to check, that is the length of the synopsis, that it should be not like a 32 to 50 pages. Generally, we are in the thesis we are submitting 32 to 50 pages, but it is just a short summary. So we need to check the length of the thesis, synopsis, sorry. Language, in which language we are writing, right? So language and the English grammar is more important for writing of thesis in compared to the synopsis in compared to the thesis, right? Because in thesis we can write the everything in the I, for example, right? And in thesis again we have to take care that we have to write the grammar and everything in compared to the thesis only, right? Presentation, how we are presenting it, again there is the same point, that many a time some important information we have to check that whether it is missing or not. We have to write each and everything in the synopsis, but in a structured manner. Generally, as I told you, we are not writing the table, all the table, but we can write down table number A1 or table number A2, present this data, and extra point, that what extra we have, like for example, limitations of the study and everything. Now, minus point is that missing main point. The main point in the thesis is that the title, then the research gap, then the objective of the study, hypothesis, finding as per the title, objective, and then conclusion. These are the various important points in the thesis, and we have to write down each and every point in a detail in the synopsis, right? I will come to this point. Explanation in a detail. Generally, we are explaining each and everything in detail, but which is not actually important in detail, right? We are writing just the one definition of this XYZ author, that's enough for synopsis, right? In synopsis, no need to write 5 or 10 definition that yes, this also five people has done this. So there is no any difference between synopsis and thesis, right? If you are writing 50 to 60 page synopsis. Starting with the conclusion, yes, again, as I said that generally in synopsis, we cannot start with the conclusion because synopsis is a part of thesis. It is a small version of your thesis. So not need to write with the conclusion, but we can, yes, we can start with the problem statement that this is the problem and this can be the probable solution. Missing supportive content. Many a time we are writing that this point if important and hypothesis we have done, but not need to write each and every hypothesis again in detail. Right? We can show in the tabular format that this 8 to 10 or 15 hypothesis and this is the result. Right? So no need to write each and everything in detail. Or inappropriate arrangement of topic. It can be possible that in thesis we have done everything, but in synopsis we have out of 12 pages we are writing introduction part in a 6 pages, and then 1 page is review of literature, 1 page is research methodology, and 5 pages for analysis, and 2 pages for conclusion. Right? So it is inappropriate arrangement of topics. So justify each and every section, each and every part, each and every chapter of thesis, and then you can write down. Or if you are not able to write, just divide all the chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and read all the chapter and write down all the chapter in 1 or 2 page, and at the last you just summarize that this is the synopsis, right? So this can be the probable if you are doing this exercise, then your synopsis might be effective. Now for the question answer, I have one question that which tense is you used in research paper or thesis. Generally we have to use the present tense, right? And it is depending literature as well, because we are writing research paper or thesis in present, so we have our information we can write down in the present tense, but the information of the review of literature we have to write down in their tense. And generally I said that generally we are saying that we have to avoid I word or we word. We said that, I said that, we can found that, I found that. We have to avoid this word. We can write down either research found that, so researcher has come to know that, researcher found that, because generally research is not our part, right? Everything is not our part, so we can write down in researcher language, third person language. If it's possible to share the material through email or WhatsApp group which is used, yeah, I will share the PPT as well as material as well, no worries. I will share the PPT, no worries. What type of writing style we used it to write research paper? Writing style, we have to use the main structure and the researcher language, that researcher found that and researcher used that, like that. Yes, again, if you have any sort of question, please ask me from this research paper, abstract, keyword, and there is a one more important information, that is JLE code, right? That JLE code is also important. Many a time the publication is asking you to write the JLE code, and you have to search this JLE code from this link I am going to share in the chat box, right? And that JLE code will divide your research paper in different types of things, that what kind of this research paper is falls under which research paper, and that code you have to write down. So this is the link. Let me share you in the chat box. Yeah, you just go through this and this will help you. JEL code. It is Journal of Economic Review. Yeah, this is the code, and in it you have to write down this code and everything after the keyword. That if my code is in this, let me show you the website as well. It is open in my laptop, so let me just go through it. How to choose the basic theory model related to the thesis topic. See, basic theory and model, you just go through the present scenario, because post-COVID there is so many changes and so many possibilities are there to change the world, right? And once you will come to know that how to change this world and what are the various possibilities, you may come to know that yes, this can be the probably output of this thesis or important. Impact factor and everything, I will, if we don't mind, then I will cover on the third day, whenever I will inform you to select the journal and to select the journal for the publication. Is it fine? From here you can view all the JLE code and formation and hierarchy, right? So these are the various I hope this is visible. These are the various journal points. For example, general economics and teaching, history of economics through methodology and microeconomics, everything. Let's say go through this financial economics. So if your paper falls under this general economics, and in general economics it is the international financial market, then you have to write down G15, right? And it can be possible that one research paper may have two or three this code, two or three JEL code. It can be possible I have G15 as well, and I have government policy and regulation, so G28 as well, right? So it can be possible that in one research paper I have G15 and G28, and that you can write down is the JLE code at the end of this research paper, right? And one of the question is that yes, as I said that you can select the basic current scenario, and let me show you how to select the research paper, this topic. You just go through the Google and write down finance, then go through the another point like it's the inclusion, and what comes first. So that research paper and that searching is most important. That means most of the people are searching financial inclusion in organization. So that is a more current topic for the research paper, and then you can go for the various kind of searching. And financial inclusion in agar aapne kiya, and then you are finding that in a bank. So financial inclusion in bank in a most current important topic. Financial inclusion in education, that is again most current important topic that you can search like that as well, right? Then can you suggest how to find out the highly qualified research paper? Yeah. See, find out research paper and this information, everything I will covered on the third day. And on that day, I will give you the, I will show you the Scopus Index journal paper, ABDC Index journal paper, then Web of Science Index journal paper, then Emerald Index journal paper. So at that time, all the queries might be, I will help you to solve all the queries related to the journal selection. If you don't mind, can we use the selection section wise abstract format even if we are not mentioned the guidelines of? Yeah, you can do it. See, nowadays section wise abstract is accepted in all the journal, right? In all the even conferences as well, right? Because it is more user friendly than the paragraph. In paragraph I have to search what is the objective, what is the finding, what is the method, and in this section wise abstract I have just 1 2 3 4 5, and I can give the rate. This is the rate 1 2 3 4 5, whether it is selected or rejected. It is very important, right? Yes, any other queries? Yeah, the journal part I will cover on the third day. So at that time I will show you all the important website and everything. Again, if you have any query related to this topic and abstract and everything, you can please ask me. And try to find out the problem statement and everything from the company and worldwide. For example, there is one website called OECD, and many of you are aware about, right? OECD. And there is one big questions on OECD as well. There are so many information is available on OECD, and from this OECD we can search, like there is, if there is a 120 countries data is available, then from this 120 countries we can search which countries GDP is good, which countries is GDP is lower, and if GDP is good, then what is the impact of this GDP on their per capita income. And if GDP is lower, then what is the impact of their per capita income? That can be also one of the research topic. So on this worldwide, we can go through this kind of session, this kind of topic, and on the narrow down, we can go through the employee engagement and this kind of topics, right? And in the tomorrow session, I will cover more about the literature review and more about the selection of these research methodology and how to increase the citation, as well as how to write the citation in the Word file. That point we will cover. I will cover tomorrow session. So if you have any query on that, please write down the question and come tomorrow. Just come to the session and I will solve that query as well.
Thank you, Professor Chauhan,
Yeah.
and all of faculty members of the NIILM universities and all of the participants presenting here. We will meet tomorrow on the same time on the same platforms. And thank you again.